What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey guys.
Hey everybody.
I think we are live on social media. We're here to talk about, well, first let me introduce myself. For those of you who don't already know, I am Shay Owens. I am a certified relationship and restoring life coach. And what I mean by restoring is I just take the areas of your life that are broken, bruised, tarnished, damaged, and help you kind of get it all back together. If you see us looking back and forth, that's because we are recording on multiple streams of web.
We're not cross-eyed. We are multitasking.
Multitasking. And I have with me the beautiful
Miss Ayana. I do counseling, life coaching, just purpose pushing. Getting people out the mess into it.
Purpose pushing. I like that.
So
she's amazing. She's amazing. So we have come together, and this goes to show you that women, especially women of color, we can work together. We can collab. We both are very successful in what we do. We both have our businesses separately. We both have families, and we are working together. Married, very much married. Very much married. For the inboxers, you know who you are. But we are here today, right now, in this moment, to talk about the Rise Experience. The Rise Experience is a one-day only, radical, life-changing, chains-breaking women's empowerment event. Rise stands for respect, integrity, service, and excellence. These are all the things that women and people in general, but especially women, we should stand for no matter what life throws at us, because we are definitely moms.
Yes.
We are mompreneurs, right? Entrepreneurs. As Zainab said, we are the CEO of our household, right? We are supportive of our husbands, of our children, of our friends. And so therefore, respect, integrity, service, and excellence is what the Rise Experience is all about. And the experience of it, for me, when the Holy Ghost gave it to me, those who don't know, come on, the Holy Ghost. Those who don't know, the experience is anytime that the Holy Spirit connects with you, that is an experience in itself. Like, you cannot be the same way when the Holy Ghost touches you.
Right.
Or even comes into your presence, right? Yeah. So that's what the Rise Experience is about.
The Rise Experience for me is about changing my perspective, changing your mind about how you see what you're looking at. You know, it's about answers. It's about chains breaking, like she said. There's so many times we're in cycles. We don't even know that we're in cycles until we look up and we can't move. So,
oh my gosh, yeah, we're stuck.
I don't want to be stuck. Do you want to be stuck?
I no longer want to be stuck. I was in a stuck place for years.
Absolutely.
Years, like in a mental, and I didn't realize it. And so in that stuck place, I actually call with my clients a familiar darkness. And this is the analogy that I use with familiar darkness, right? So you know how, like for me, I can get up in the middle of the night, walk through my entire house, get exactly, I can make a sandwich, y'all, probably in the pitch black, right?
You know the darkness.
I know the darkness because it's familiar to me, right? In our lives, we go through the same thing. We get so used to doing that repetitive pattern of brokenness that we are familiar with it. So it's not until you move mentally, right? You change some things around that you start bumping into things until you become familiar with it. So for you, you have to refamiliarize yourself with a new pattern, with a new habit, with a new mindset. And so that's why, for me, the Rise Experience is so personal.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
and it takes an adjustment. You make me think about, just walking in the dark. When you turn on the lights, it's like, wait.
You feel like Gizmo, right?
Right. You feel like a deer in headlights, but when you come across that light, you have to shift your eyes, shift your everything, and adjust to that light. Yeah. So, I mean, this is why you have to be at the Rise Experience, because so many of us know the dark all too well, but we have to get our minds and our eyes adjusted to what's in the light and what's available to us that we maybe couldn't see in the dark.
Right. And not only that, because so right now when we're speaking of that, we're speaking to that person that's broken, that can't get over anything, that doesn't know how to get over anything, has tried and tried and tried and tried, and still cannot get over those things that life has presented to us, right? Like we said earlier, we are moms, we're wives, we're friends, we're supporters. We give so much of ourselves to everyone else, and we don't give it to ourselves. We don't put the time in.
On the inside.
Funny enough, I put together this pie chart, which was super simple. It was on an Excel spreadsheet. And I put the hours of the day, what I do from the point that I wake up until the point that I go to sleep. I literally have like this much time for myself. And honestly, that was like when I was taking a shower.
Lord.
Everything else was dedicated to my house, my husband, my children, my business. Very little time. So when I saw that, that was like my aha moment. Like, I didn't realize, because I felt, I'm not exhausted, I'm not tired, I'm not burnt out. So for me, I didn't feel like I was giving too much of myself to anything or anyone. But in reality I wasn't eating right. I was eating a lot of, moved to Michigan, okay, and gained 30 pounds. That's the happy marriage, right? But seriously, we give so much of ourselves. So, but the Rise experience is not just for that person that's in that place. It is also for the person that wants to be prepared.
Right.
Or for the person that has said, you know what, I've met somebody like that. Let me see if I gave them the right advice, or let me see if I'm on the right path of helping someone else come out of that. Because honestly, I have friends right now that are in a cycle. And as much as I love them, as much as I pray for them, they are staying in that cycle. But you have to be ready. You have to get to the point where you are ready. And you said, I've had enough of being sick and tired, of being sick and tired, of being sick and tired. When somebody's at that point, then you can help them.
Absolutely.
You know, but so that the Rise experience is also for that person that wants to be a helper to somebody that's going through something. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, you know.
I just want to say to because I don't know how many women out there that may be watching this video is as bad as me when it comes to cars. I'll just get in my car, turn it on, and go wherever I have to go. Sometimes I don't check the oil, the light be coming on, and my husband is like, "When the last time you got a oil change? When the last time you?" But you know what? But he gets on me because what I'm saying is we go, we do for everybody else, and we don't check our gas. Like we don't make sure our air that's we don't tend to ourselves to make sure mentally we're okay, spiritually we're okay, emotionally we're okay. We have to check all our lights. Are we okay?
Or your lights gonna start coming on.
We're gonna be on the side of the road.
I'm busted and disgusted.
We're silly, but honestly, we have to take care of ourselves. We are important too, and the only way that everybody else gets love and is taken care of is if we first start with ourselves.
Absolutely. It doesn't mean that you're going to stop taking care of those that are in your circle or those that you love. It just means that you're going to put a little bit more thought into what you think, how you feel, how you react to something is huge. Because let me tell you, since I became a life coach, my reactions to things is so different. Like my husband and I we were getting ready for church the other morning, and we were talking about something. I was like, I'm all life coaching this situation right now, right? But seriously, it's in how we react to something. The things that we hold on to, the anger, the bitterness. Funny enough, in church we were talking about unforgiveness, and Elder Jason said, you have to want, your desire to want to forgive has to be bigger than your pain.
Wow.
Because unforgiveness will cause you to have health issues. So if you're going through something, if you're not feeling well and you can't figure out why, think back on whether or not you have unforgiveness, whether you have bitterness in your heart. So all of those things, we can go into a whole slew of different things as to those, but that's what we're going to get into at the Rise experience.
And it's funny that you mentioned that, because the speakers that we have at the event is going to be touching on a little bit of everything. And it even brought to mind one of the speakers who is into integrative wellness. Like, mentally you have to be on one accord with how you feel on the inside. Like it's all connected. You can't have one part of yourself well and then the other part of yourself in shambles.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the topics that we're going to be talking about?
Addictive behaviors. We just talked about that familiar darkness. So addictive behaviors, being addicted to a substance abuse for years. I hid the fact that I was on antidepressants until I almost lost my life. I was in the hospital. I pretty much lost 3 days of my life by taking antidepressants. I didn't realize I was waking up taking them. So I don't know who was taking care of my kids. The doctor said one more dose and I would have died. So within 3 days, I had taken almost 30 days worth of pills. My goodness. Look at God. Right. So clearly God's not done with me yet. Right, like, we all have a testimony. We all have a story. But we're also going to be talking about loving beyond incarceration. Every area that we're going to be talking about, we literally handpicked each person that is going to be speaking, from the host, who is Tanisha Wyndham. She is the CEO and founder of My Sister's Keeper, a wonderful, 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 powerful woman that I met. She was one of the first women that I met moving to Michigan, and she mentors, yes, she is. She mentors young girls. And so she's helping them at such a young age, from 2nd grade up through 18. So she's actually helping them not get in that stuck place, right? So we have from domestic abuse, which right now I believe is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We have a speaker, Deidre Moody, who's going to be speaking about cancer. She was the first one in her family to have cancer. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So you hear it as you think you don't have any history. You're good. You're good. So you don't worry about it. You go get checked and realize, oh crap, you have breast cancer. And so she's a 3-year survivor. Praise God for that. And her testimony, and she's a powerhouse in her own right. Yes. She's going to talk about not just what she went through, but she's going to talk about the mindset and the warfare that she had to go into. Then we have Wendy Wu. Yes. Who she'll be speaking on the Loving Beyond Incarceration. Yeah. She personally was in a prison facility as a corrections officer. She's doing her thing now on the opposite end, working in a law firm, and she has someone who at this time is wrongfully convicted and incarcerated. So I can't imagine how difficult that can be, just trying to keep a relationship with a person that's beyond bars. And speaking from experience, so every area pretty much are areas that I've been through in my personal life, and I've been able to overcome. So my ex-husband, the father of 2 of my children, we were together. I was 24 when we met. We got married at 30. And at that stage that we got married, he actually was wrongfully accused of doing some things. And when I say wrongfully, like, we had people come back and say, no, they lied. Wow. But it had already went to court. And this is a man who we prayed together. We read our word together. He is a man of God. I don't want to take that away from him. But mentally, he was not ready to face what he went through. And at that point, mind you, from 24 to 30, we were no domestic abuse, no disrespect. We didn't curse at one another, or anything like that. We didn't drink. And at that point, he got locked up. And of course, he got out on bond. He changed. Mentally, he was not ready. Mentally, I wasn't ready. But I tried to be as supportive as I could. But mentally, he changed. That's when domestic violence kicked in. Domestic violence for me got very real. Like, I can't imagine. It was horrible. It kind of changed. Just a story, really quick. Which again, these are things that everyday women talk about. We need to talk about that we don't. So just a quick story about that situation is that we went out. We had a wonderful weekend out with my job. And we had gotten home, and it was an open bottle of water on the counter. And he was like, well, why are you not watching the kids with this water? Who's drinking the water? And I'm like, I don't know. And I was like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. I'm going to put our clothes away. I walked off. Don't you know, he followed me to the back of the room the very first time. And he grabbed me by my neck from the hallway, and I had a sleigh bed. And he took me by my neck and threw me over the sleigh bed, and the whole bottom of the sleigh bed broke with my body. And he began to kick me. And I stayed and I dealt with it, right? Because I felt like I understood he was going through something. And I stayed because the kids weren't around. No one saw it, so I stayed in it. But that was my second marriage, and now I was a victim of domestic violence. So it's like, and then going back, so all the things we're going to talk about, so we talked about chains breaking. So I'm going to stop with that story. So we talked about chains breaking. Yep. I didn't realize that my mother, right, had a history of domestic violence with my dad. I didn't realize that until I was an adult. So we're talking about generational curses. These are things that sometimes in our lives that we go through, and you don't even realize that you are in that cycle, right? Of
not to cut you off, that reminds me of Dr. Rael Sims, the relationship sciences, how he digs even deeper into why we do what we do.
He is a neuroscientist.
Yes.
Ladies, if you talk to him one-on-one, I promise you, you will be like, what?
Really?
Huh?
Like really getting into like biologically, like why do we go into
the why?
Yeah, the why, like with a magnifying glass. And it's like, it only took me like maybe 10 seconds of a conversation. I was like, oh, for real?
Right. And from a man, you know, you think, oh man, what is he going to do with the Rise experience? But let me tell you, he is such a power. Everybody we handpicked for this event is a powerhouse in their own right.
Nobody's watered down.
No one is watered down. Everybody has a story. Everybody is doing very well where they are today, and everybody's going to go into the why, right? Yes. Or the how we come out of. So you're not just coming to be empowered. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to empower you. We're going to talk about self-care, of course.
We're going to give you the tools that you need to not just get through where you may be right now, but we're also going to give you helpful information and tools, yes, for whatever you might face in the future. Nobody knows what their tomorrow holds.
Oh, absolutely not.
We would like to think we plan the best way that we can. We do things the best way that we can so that we can have a better tomorrow, but nobody knows if they're going to get sick.
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
So for every speaker, and we're going to be dealing with mindset. How do we control our mind? It says in the Bible we have to renew our minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not renew our hearts, not remove the way we walk and talk, even though that is kind of your mindset, but it's renewing of your mind every day. Every time that there is an obstacle, every time that there is a struggle, sometimes I have to get out of bed and just tell myself, why am I getting out of my bed?
Yeah,
because sometimes I don't want to get up. I don't want to work. I don't want to cook breakfast. I don't want to cook dinner. I want to just lay in the bed sometimes. Sometimes, ladies, I don't know if you're like me. Sometimes I just wake up and I'm just sad. Or let me say I used to. I'm not going to say currently. I used to wake up and just feel sad and had no idea why.
I remember being there myself. You know, I remember being so weighed down by shame.
Shame of what though?
Listen, I was in a toxic relationship. I was doing any and every kind of thing that was outside of who I am. So much so that shame will cause you to feel like you are that thing that you did.
Oh,
you know, you take on whatever guilt, whatever shame, whatever thing that you did, and you take on the mindset, I am that. You know, I remember waking up out of my sleep from whatever piece that I could find,
right,
and automatically feeling anxious in my heart, like I don't even know how I'm gonna do this day because this problem is this big. I did this.
And wouldn't you smile through it?
I would.
Wouldn't you put your lashes on?
I would still put on my
lashes and good old hair.
Yeah, and nobody would be able to tell a thing that, oh, she's beautiful. Okay, yeah, but I am hurting. I am broken. I am not making good decisions right now. I want to stop, but this addictive behavior, this thing is speaking to my brokenness, and it's causing me to make the same type of mistakes I'm tired of making.
I remember I would get off of work and have a 30-minute drive, and I would cry. I mean, like, boo-hoo cry, red eyes cry, pull up in my driveway, wipe my face, retouch my foundation, go in the house like nothing ever happened.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Hey kids, y'all ready to eat? All right, y'all want to go out? Let's go out and let's have. I remember somebody at my job saying, hey girl, how's your day going? This is first thing in the morning. And at that point, I was at my breaking point. I busted out crying. I would have panic attacks driving my car. And it was nothing but God that kept me from hitting anybody else. I would wake up and be in a church parking lot. I would wake up and be in so many different places and be like, how did I get here? Or I would have made a phone call in my panic. And also I have like 30 missed calls from that person saying, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm good. He was like, no, you're not. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be very open and very transparent. So back to the Rise experience.
Listen, we can go on because listen, one woman can have so much to say because they've experienced so much, they've felt so much, they've done so much. But 2 women, 3 women, 4, we all have these stories. We all have these experiences, and we all carry so much and still have so much responsibility. This is why you want to come to the Rise experience, because honestly, we can't rise if we don't come together and connect with other women to hear that I too have been through that, but this is how I got through it.
Right,
I'm not stuck.
The how.
This is how I fix my mind to be able to navigate through this problem. This is the help that I got. Absolutely. These are the resources that I reached out to break some of those chains and some of those cycles. This is why you want to come to the Rise experience.
Because we are not, again, we're going to empower you. You're going to have some breakfast. We have awesome vendors. We have everything else that a typical, quote unquote, women's empowerment event would have. The difference from the ones that I've been to personally is that you're going to leave with tools. We're putting together a journal right now for you that's going to have you doing some self-work, guys. Just a little snippet of it, kind of like the trailer of the movie, right? It's going to give you like little snippets on doing some self-work, finding out where your foundation really is, finding out who helped shape who you are as far as the people that raised you.
And that is so good.
Yeah.
Because it's not until I did that self-reflecting and I walked through the dark tunnels of my own.
The ugly.
The ugly. Good, bad, and the ugly.
Right.
It's not until I began to do that I began to find my way out of those wilderness experiences.
Sometimes you gotta look at yourself. If you don't like how you look in the mirror, you get to the point where you don't even like the person because you know that the person of who you are or who you portray yourself to be is not really how you feel inside. So again, the Rise experience is 1,000% about breaking chains. When I say we are going to have spoken word there for you, rewind. We're going to have spoken word. We're going to have prayer.
Yes.
We're going to have it. We're going to just invite the Holy Spirit. Come on out, Holy Spirit. You are welcome in this place. Absolutely. And in this place doesn't mean the building. It means in here, in my heart, because I want to be changed. Absolutely. I am tired of going through the things that I've gone through. I believe that I can not leave the same way that I came into the event, right?
So long story short.
Bring
your mama, your sister, your friend, aunt, your friend. Bring
the next person on the street that you see that you walked into that store and you know that person, they don't look happy to be working at that store. There's something going on with them.
Yeah, ask them, hey, what are you doing Saturday, November 9th? You know, man, if there's a man watching this video right now, you may think, hey, you know, this is a women's event, blah, blah. You know a woman who is angry. you know a woman who is maybe shut off, or maybe your sister, maybe a friend or coworker,
maybe your wife,
maybe your wife. That when you speak to her, she's not getting it from you. So maybe she can afford to be around other empowered women.
Right. And it's not even that they may not be getting it, but just in case something comes up, but just in case you go through something and you need her to be able to stand firm in who she is emotionally so that she can fully stand for you.
Absolutely.
That's what this event is all about. When I tell you, we are going to be breaking chains. I do not want any woman to come in a certain way and leave that exact same way. Each woman will have that attention per se. We are going to make sure that every person is good. I promise you that.
And then on top of that, not only are you going to have experience there at the event with all the amazing speakers going forward and the energy in the room with the food and the vendors and all that greatness, we're going to send you home with a breakthrough bag so that you can take that experience home with you in your environment where there may be, who knows what's going on, because, you know, we all go through something. But we're going to let you go home with a breakthrough bag so that you can have an experience at home, behind closed doors, on every level, your mind, your body, your spirit, everything. Yeah. We're all of that.
Yeah. And the best thing about it is that, you know how you go through a situation and you hear how to come out of it, but you don't even know where to begin? Yeah. Guys, in that, so you have a breakthrough bag and then you have a breakthrough folder. In the folder, the folder is where the work will come in. The folder has resources.
Yes, resources.
Personally from each and every single speaker.
Some more resources.
Yes.
Listen.
I'm talking about contact numbers, email addresses, websites, even if it's just 2 or 3 to get you started in the right direction, because you never know when you're going to need something.
And that's
or
so
someone.
Because when I was in my season of acting out and having sex,
acting a fool,
and everything that I wasn't, my problem was, and the reason why I was in that season for so long, I didn't know who do I call?
Right.
Where do I go? I need somebody outside of my circle. Who? So with that folder, you want to be able to have those answers. Who do I call? This is who you call.
Right.
You're going to have,
or at least a starting point.
Yeah.
Because that person may not be for you. That's the resources that we are providing are the resources that worked for us. Right. Ayana being a coach, I'm a coach. Tanisha Wyndham is also a coach. Rael is a neuroscientist. He can definitely help you. Deidre Moody. Stephanie. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Me and Stephanie, I spoke with her. She's amazing. She's everything. Counselor, coach as well. She has her hand in everything. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So great things can happen.
And we are diverse.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are a diverse group of men and women. Yeah. Even our vendors. Healthcare screenings. So it's not going to be a big lavish. Right now, we're doing a healthcare fair through the Rise Experience, maybe in either February or March. So we're going to have more information for you at the event on that, where men, women, and children will be able to come out and get free health screening. So that's just a little tagline for the future. Stay tuned on that one, right? But Maybelline and Roderick, they have what's called Recovery Today television. It can be found on Roku, Amazon. You can download it on your cell phone. It's RCVT or RCTV, I believe. I should know this because I am tag yourself. The new spokesperson for that television station. So I'm extremely blessed. God is opening up doors. And honestly, anyone that connects with us, you're gonna grow.
Yes, I definitely want to debunk the whole idea that, you know, it's not good when women get together because it's cattiness, it's messiness, gossip, all that. I just want to tear all of that down, because that's not what we're about. That's not what we do. That's not where our mind, where our heart is. If you're connected with us, if you can come to this event, it's going to be love there. It's going to be power there. It's going to be restoration there. Right, we're all about building our sisters up. And so, yeah, definitely you want to be there, because it's not going to be any of that. That's not who we are. So definitely look forward to being built up, being poured into, having your faith restored. You know, I know things can happen that can shake your faith. We want to restore even your faith. We want to restore your sight, because sometimes stuff is so wild and crazy you can't see where you're going.
Right. And if you feel like this event is not for you, you can actually become a contributor. A contributor is someone who just wants to help another woman get into the Rise Experience. All of the things that we're putting together clearly are not cheap or free for us. So there is a cost to get into the Rise Experience. However, as a contributor, whether you're going or not, you can still be a contributor. Men and women alike can be a contributor. And what you'll pretty much do is go online. You'll pay for the cost of a registration ticket. And we will be able to bless somebody who couldn't afford to come, that really wants to come, that needs to come, the opportunity to come into the event. So for every contributor, I want to thank Roderick and Maybelline right now. They are contributing to 5 tickets. Yes. So that's so awesome. for that. Right now, we are doing for the next 2 days an early bird special. Use the coupon code RISEUP, RISEUP. When you're checking out, the ticket goes down to $25, but it's only good for another 2 days. It does go up after the 2-day mark. I think we've decided to keep the price at
$30. Y'all like the voice?
Like that, right?
$30.
$30. We're gonna go ahead and leave it there. It's not gonna go up to 40 as we originally, because honestly, it's not even about the money. Right. It's about the experience. It's about the breakthrough. So again, as a contributor, the perk of being a contributor is if you do. First of all, we do say thank you in our welcome in our folder for each of the ladies. Your name will be in there. If you have a business, we want your business cards. We want your business cards because we're going to put that in there as well. You can give us a little snippet about what you do. And so therefore, we're also promoting you as our way of saying thank you. If you don't want to be a contributor, we also have sponsorships available. But right now, as you can see, we have the lovely microphones. Ayana here has Silverline Radio, and I'll let you tell them a little bit about that, because as a sponsor, you do have the benefit of being interviewed there. I have a podcast as well. You know, that is called Walking in Your Greatness, and I'm going to ramp that back up again. And so I'll be interviewing any sponsors on there or contributors at this point, and
as well as myself on Silverline Radio. So there's several different packages that we have for you all as sponsors, depending on, you know, what you can do, whatever's comfortable for you. We're grateful for any and everything that you do, but we do have sponsor packages, and in some of those packages, it's, hey, you give, become a sponsor of the event. I will more than likely love, I would love to interview you myself on Silverline Radio to tell the world what it is that you do, how you're helping out. You know, we want to shine some light on that. Give back. That's what it's about.
Our way of saying thank you. And for those who have registered to come on, come to the event, for every person that you refer that they register, we're also giving away, you want to grab that? A Thanksgiving, our way of saying thank you, again, because it's more than that. I think it's coming in backwards because of the, anyway, so we can go ahead and.
Yeah, you want me to talk about it? So for whoever that brings the most or refers the most guests to the Rise experience, we're going to gift you and your family Thanksgiving package. So you have basically Thanksgiving dinner on your table for Thanksgiving. You don't have to worry about all the crazy shopping and spending and all that. We're going to give you a Thanksgiving dinner for your family to enjoy on Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. And the day of the event, you know, we want to have some fun as well. We don't want it to just be all, you know, serious. So we want to do a 50-50 raffle. I think we're going to have a few other things, you know, that may be going on there, but we definitely want you to join us for a powerful, impactful, life-changing, altering, breakthrough, you know, release. And so the date is, again, November 9th, 2019, between 9 a.m. and 4. Oh, for breakfast. So you can get to the hotel as early as 8 o'clock in the morning and begin to eat breakfast. We don't want you falling asleep, so don't get the itis. Don't do that, right? We want you to go ahead and enjoy breakfast. It's a full breakfast area that the hotel has as well, so you can go in there and get your waffles, your pancake. I don't know about pancakes. I know they have waffles, they have coffee, they have cereal, they have all the fixings that a hotel would normally offer you for breakfast. It's not just a continental breakfast. That is inclusive with that. So the doors do open up at 9 o'clock. We will begin around 9:45. But you can get there as early as 8 o'clock in the morning and eat breakfast on us as our way of saying thank you for even coming out. So we are going to keep you all day.
So it's going to be a good event. Like I said, tell somebody, tell your mom, aunt, friend, sister, cousin to come to this event Saturday, November 9th. Share the video, tag someone. I don't care what you have to do, because come through for your sisters. You know your sister's going through or could just benefit from being around positive women. Get them there. You be there. We want to see you. In the link, in the comments, we'll post the link where you can go to purchase your tickets.
There are 2 links.
If there's 2 links, we'll post them in the comments so that you can go ahead and actually captioned it as well. We can just click the link and go forward to purchase your ticket. Don't wait.
Or you can even get it through Eventbrite. Eventbrite does not offer the discount, the coupon code though. So if you want that $5 off, go directly to the website. It's going, so if you go to Ayana's site, which I believe is in the caption, it is going to reroute you to my site as well. But go ahead and just give them, for those that are listening, go ahead and give them your website.
So you can go to Ascended Volition, ASCENDED, Volition, VOLITION.org. And when you go in there, just go through the menu and click on the Rise Experience, and it'll have all the information there about the Rise Experience. If you want to be an attendee, if you want to be a contributor, if you want to sponsor, whatever it is that you're wanting to do as it pertains to the Rise Experience, you can do that there. And you'll be all set to go and register and pay for your ticket.
Absolutely. And of course, you can go directly to my website, which is www.coachingbtw.com/rise. It'll bring you right to the events page. If you feel like the experience is not, if you're not able to make it to the experience, but you want the help, you want the access to Ayana or myself, you can still go to our websites and book an individual group session. We can do it via video. If you are long distance, all of our clients are not just in Metro Detroit.
Right.
They are actually everywhere. Actually, I had a client that was in another country, so that was exciting to be able to speak with her. I know, God is so awesome, right?
So both of our information will be available to you on either one of those websites.
But it's
Did we hit everything?
I think we hit more than enough.
More than enough. If you all have any questions or comments, feel free to comment, or you can send a message to us through the websites that we mentioned, and we will be more than glad to answer any questions that you have.
Immediately.
All right. So we love you, ladies. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Love, peace, and hand grease. We're shutting the video off now, guys.
Did I cut this one off?
It's still going. Stop.